Rivers State Governor Wike has called on all Nigerians to work towards the promotion of the country's unity and corporate coexistence. The governor also condemned the overzealousness of the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, who withdrew the security detail of the Anambra State Governor, saying that no amount of intimidation will solve the challenges of Nigeria. Governor Wike spoke at the 6th Zik lecture series in honor of the first president of Nigeria, retired Honorable Nnamdi Azikiwe, on Thursday at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka.
Irrespective of the side of the political and social divide we may belong, we all share a common responsibility as leaders and ordinary people to advance and preserve the unity and corporate existence of Nigeria, which for me is the greatest honor we can ever give to the memory of the great Zik of Africa. But in committing ourselves to this mission, we cannot also continue to deny the challenges that we presently face as a nation and the choice that we must make to preserve the nation's unity in the midst of increasing agitations for political and economic restructuring sweeping across the country.
The governor said, like every other pluralistic, multicultural and multi-religious society, Nigeria's diversity remains the abiding source of the country's collective strength and resilience.
However, our diversity is under severe stress and even becoming rather a threat to our collective progress because of embedded fault lines in the existing political and economic structures of the country. Unfortunately, our failures as a people to resolve the structural defects continue to trouble and negate national cohesion and development. For it is vain to expect peace in injustice, unity in inequity, and progress where governance is bereft of accountability, respect for the rule of law, and independence of the judiciary, and where national institutions are easily politicized, weakened, and rendered ineffective.
The governor commended Senator Ben Obi for a very creative initiative, as well as Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, for providing the intellectual platform for the effective propagation of the timeless ideas and enduring values of the great Zik of Africa.
Today we are gathered here to honor the memory of one of the greatest sons of Igbo land, one of the greatest sons of Nigeria, and of course the black race, the late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, under the auspices of the annual Zik lecture series instituted by one of our brothers, Senator Dr. Ben Obi Ojolindi Igbozi. Whatever verdict history records, no one can deny that Zik was not just one of the foremost architects of the Nigerian nation, he was also among the most towering figures in the history of African politics. The great Zik therefore deserves all and every honor his apostles, and indeed a grateful nation can best so to keep his memory alive and in the consciousness of the people.
He said that the choice before Nigerians is to build inclusive, equitable and participatory political and economic systems where everyone justly benefit from the pursuit of democracy, the rule of law and good governance, which are lacking in the presence of the authoritarian political environment, where protests are easily cast as dissent, where iniquity and impunity are promoted as national policies, and where our rights and freedoms are easily denied.
The choice before us, therefore, is to build inclusive, equitable, and participatory political and economic systems where every one of our citizens justly benefits from the proceeds of democracy, the rule of law, and good governance, which are lacking in the present authoritarian political environment, where protests are easily cast as dissent, where inequity and impunity are promoted as national policies, our freedoms easily denied.
The governor decried the level of impunity displayed by the Inspector General of Police in the withdrawal of security details of the Anambra State Governor, pointing out that they suffered the same fate during the Rivers rerun elections.
Of course, you heard what happened a few days ago. The overzealousness of the Inspector General of Police to withdraw the security aids of the so-called, they say, chief security officer of a state, and which have said nobody should call governors as chief security officers. Because if we were, how would anybody withdraw their security aids? What we are is just mere chief logistic officers. Because it is only when logistics are needed, that's only where we superintend. But in terms of security, you have no role, you have no control. And I thank God, Mr. President. It happened to me. Before the election, they came and took all my security. Nobody said anything. Now it has happened. And it could not to happen to all of them. Just watch.
Wike said Nigerians will resist the plot to manipulate the 2019 polls. He said the lawless actions of the Inspector General of Police reveals the plan to use intimidation as a political weapon.
2019 is coming. You will see what will happen. Nigerians will resist every attempt to coerce us to do what we don't want to do. Enough is enough.
Founder of the Zik Lecture Series and Secretary of the People's Democratic Party PDP Caretaker Committee, Senator Ben Obi, said that the lecture series was initiated to celebrate the legacies of the first Nigerian president and to immortalize him.
GCFR. My reason for adopting this medium to immortalize him is not far-fetched. Until his demise, he was a thoroughbred scholar and a firm believer in education as the bedrock for sustainable national development. Hence, he founded the University of Nigeria.
Delivering the 6th Zik lecture, Chief John Anya-Wadu, a former Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria and President General Ohaneze Ndibu, traced the developmental challenges facing the country to the foundational problems orchestrated by the colonial administrators.
Nigeria, a country of 371 ethnic groups, a total area of 923,773 square kilometers, and an estimated population ranging from 150 to 170 million, is the most populous country in Africa.
He called for the restructuring of the country on the premise of the knowledge-based economy and agriculture.
Would mean a rearrangement of the features of our constitution, a revisit to the structure of our constitution, taking into account its history, its workability, and imperative changes that must be made to it.
The 6th Zik lecture attracted leaders from all the geopolitical zones of the country.